In music, there is nothing more important than the connection between the performer and their audience. Different musical artists try to interact with their audience in various ways, but few have been as innovative as Mitski, who uses her vulnerability as a tool to engage with her audience. In this video, I'll be examining the ways that Mitski curates a sense of vulnerability and how this creates a connection with her audience unlike any other performer can.
From the balcony, and I wanna kiss like my heart is hitting the ground. I'm holding my breath with a baseball bat, though I don't know what I'm waiting for. I am not gonna be what my daddy wants me to be. It's not that I become a different person on stage. I think I finally become myself on stage. I'm usually really uncomfortable in real life in general. I'm very awkward. I force myself to be more extroverted so that, I can be a nice person and function in society as an adult. But when I'm on stage, I finally feel like I enter this core person who I really am. And that's honestly why I perform. I want to get to that place where it feels real and I feel real.
Mitski was born in Japan to a Japanese mother and American father. Because of her father's job, she moved around a lot as a child and was never able to put down roots anywhere. In interviews, Mitski has expressed that she feels half Japanese and half American, but not fully belonging to either culture. These ideas are reflected heavily in her music, which frequently deals with themes such as isolation, loneliness, and a desire to belong.
I always loved music, but for a long time I didn't believe I could be a musician. I just didn't see anyone like me doing what I wanted to do, and so just to understand that it was possible for me took a long time. I was an Asian girl who wasn't hot, or who wanted to write my own music and didn't want to do anything that I was seeing.
Case in point, one of Mitski's most popular songs, Nobody, is a disco anthem about self-pity. I definitely think that counts as having a unique voice. In a New Yorker interview, Mitski revealed that she had developed her own idiosyncratic way of maintaining a grip on an audience, since she had learned that jumping around on stage getting everybody pumped up didn't come naturally to her. Let's look at an example of how this is effective in one of her live performances of her song Old Friend. My screen capture software did not agree with the way this video was filmed on a cell phone, so the image came out looking very choppy and still, but that's still enough for us to analyze her body posture. So first of all, how many performers have you seen use a table and chair on stage during their opening song? Probably not many. She starts out sitting cross-legged, very casually posed, and as the chorus starts, she tips her head back and lifts the microphone up to the air, almost as though the speaker of the song is performing themselves during this vocal dialogue. Mitski turns back towards the audience, not making eye contact, and begins examining the microphone and her hand, as though they are foreign objects to her. In the verse that follows, Mitski does not break eye contact with the audience. Instead, she holds the microphone with both hands, and at one point begins nodding submissively along with one of the lyrics. This makes the performance feel incredibly personal and urgent. Mitski squeezes her elbows together in an act of word painting, and then enters her performative pose again during the chorus. She turns her attention back to the audience, and in a final, desperate act begins to climb onto the table. I've never seen something like that in a live show, and if I had, I think I would probably remember it forever. Oh yeah, that's how she opened the set, by the way.
Hello, my name is Mitski. You're growing tired of me.
I actually find the pop format, or just having structures and song structures that you have to rely on and have to stay within, is actually, it forces you to be more creative. I find that creating limits really helps me to be more creative and try to like figure out how to work within those limits. I'm sure you also know when you're told you can, like, you know, you're given an assignment and you say, and they tell you just do whatever you want, you actually find that to be like to create pressure, and you find you might like feel trapped by that because you don't even know where to begin. There's like a whole world of things to do and a whole world of topics to cover. So it's the same thing where I find the more limits I create for myself, the more creative I actually end up being.
We've looked at how Mitski chose to create her voice and her stage presence. Now let's look at how her music and lyrics are able to convey vulnerability. We'll examine one of her songs, Two Slow Dancers, for its lyrical and melodic content and how they are effective.
Does it smell like a school gymnasium in here? It's funny how they're all the same.
As soon as the song starts, Mitski tries to appeal to our sense of nostalgia.
It's funny how you always remember, and we've both done it all 100 times before. It's funny how I still forgot.
And then she punches you in the gut right before the first chorus.
It would be 100 times easier if we were young again, but as it is, and it is.
Pay attention to the melody of the chorus here.
We're just two slow dancers, last ones out. We're two slow dancers, last ones out.
Okay, so we have to pause here. I have a lot to say about what we just heard. First of all, the subject matter itself. It's such a sad song with a universally relatable message. Haven't we all had some sort of relationship that we wish we were able to explore a little bit more when we were younger, when we had the time? This is exactly what Mitski is known for, writing songs that are understood by everybody on some level. Now, for the melody itself, when Mitski sings the line, "Two slow dancers, last one's out," there are two different notes that she chooses to end the melody on. The first note makes that chord from an F major to an F major add 11. And it's this 11th note that she drops down to that gives that chord its real meat. It's the fact that she drops down a note that gives the song its real sense of longing. She wants to maintain this feeling, but she's not quite able to. It doesn't matter how hard you want to hold on to something. Sometimes it just sinks away from you. The second time, the note doesn't change, and instead of becoming an F11 chord, it becomes an F6 chord. Mitski is still trying to hold on as hard as she can to this feeling, and that manifests in the way that the melody does not move for the second time through that lyric. What a tragedy.
And the ground has been slowly pulling us back down. You see it on both our skin. We get a few years and then it wants us back. It would be 100 times easier if we...
So we have an expectation for what the pre-chorus and chorus are going to sound like, since we've already heard them. Do you think Mitski is going to follow through with that expectation?
And it is.
Okay, so you can't tell me that wasn't friggin' intense. The dynamics go way up, we get a whole new melody we haven't heard yet, and there's this constant high-pitched drone in the background, giving all of the chords an ethereal quality, again reminiscent of that unwillingness to change, or to let go. So let's bring it all together. We have a performer who is unwaveringly herself, has created a stage presence and choreography unlike anyone else, can craft incredibly relatable songs with meaningful and impactful lyrics, and can do all of those things at once. Mitski is an incredible musician, and I can't think of a better way to demonstrate that than with her Tiny Desk version of her song Class of 2013. I don't see how a performer could possibly be any more vulnerable than this.
Mom, I'm tired. Can I sleep in your house tonight? Mom, is it alright if I stay for a year or two? Mom, I'll be quiet. It would be just to sleep at night. And I'll leave once I figure out how to pay for my own life too. Mom, would you wash my back this once, and then we can forget, and I'll leave what I'm chasing for the other girls to pursue. Mom, am I still young? Can I dream for a few months more? Thanks.
And then she just gives this meek little smile, like she didn't just vomit her heart up for everybody to see. The way she screams into her guitar pickup is as unexpected as it is powerful. Towards the end, the power of her voice actually does make the guitar strings resonate, and I'm not sure if that was the intended effect or not, but it really does give the song an entirely different atmosphere. The way Mitski is able to convey shame, longing, things everybody knows about, things everybody feels sometimes. That's how you write an effective song. That's how you give a memorable performance. Just like that. Mitski is a talented performance artist and a brilliant songwriter. She uses every aspect of music and performance to create a seamless experience that reduces the distance between artist and audience unlike any other performer.